Welcome to Lunch Break Reviews. I'm Bradley Butane, your self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, here to dive into the best and sometimes the worst of what's playing at the movies each week. I'll spotlight one big release and put it through the lunch break point system. Now this is everything from its main course to its leftover appeal. We'll cover a couple of reviews, the box office buzz, and my own take on whether this movie deserves a place in your lunch break lineup. All in about 30 minutes or less. For more reviews on TV shows and comics, check out our mini episodes on TikTok and YouTube throughout the week. Now let's get into it. Let's recap last week's top box office and then get into this week's movie that was voted on by you from TikTok. The choice was between Heretic and this Christmas movie pageant thing. That's right. The winner of that vote will go through to the lunch break point system. Okay, last week from November 1st to November 3rd, so last weekend, the winner of the box office was Venom: The Last Dance. It's been out for 2 weeks and it's been on top for 2 weeks. That's saying something. Right now it's sitting at about 26 million for last week and a total of 97 million in total in 2 weeks. In second place at 7.4 million was The Wild Robot. This movie is so fantastic. If you haven't watched it, get to it before it leaves the theaters. It's great. It's one of the best family movies I've seen in a long time. In total, it's made 124 million and sitting at 6 weeks in the box office. In third place, October's done, but Smile 2 isn't. In third place was Smile 2, and it made about 6.8 million for a total of 55 million in 3 weeks. In fourth place, a movie that's wasn't it was a limited release. Conclave has made 5 million with 17 million in total, and that's 2 weeks that's been out. And in fifth place, the movie that did come out last week, Here, with Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, that it made 4.9 million, a total of 6.7 since it came out, and that's been out for 1 week. Okay, and now on to the movie that we're doing. Okay, it's time. What movie won between the Christmas pageant and Heretic? Well, it was Heretic, and I went and watched it, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Here is some movie information on it. It was released on November 9th. It's got an IMDb rating of 7.3 out of 10, and at this time is 3.9 thousand reviews. And I'm sorry, I apparently have some sneezes, so I hope I hit the pause button quick enough for that one. So after IMDb, 7.3 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes is sitting at a 94% on the tomato meter. It is fresh, and with good reason. This movie's fantastic. Popcorn meter sitting at 77%. I'm going to be closer to the tomato meter on this one, just saying up front. And if you haven't seen it, you gotta go see it. Hugh Grant is so fantastic. Pretty much, in a synopsis in my own words, is a couple of Mormons show up at a house, and will they leave or won't they leave? You never know. So it's got a lot of twists and turns. It's really, really intense. So this is directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. They have the Beck and Woods. They also helped write Quiet Place #1 and a few others. This is also written by them as well. The main cast in this is Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher. You recognize her from Yellow Jackets. She's been in some other stuff as well. Chloe East. She is so good in this movie. She steals the show. She's this week's showstopper 100%. And Elle Young, Julie Lynn Mortensen is in it as well. The critics' consensus on this movie is Hugh Grant has infectious fun playing against type in Heretic, a religious horror that preaches the gospel of cerebral chills over cheap shocks. I didn't find any good audience consensus on this, but that's okay. we're going to go over some reviews anyway. So just to keep you in mind, these reviews are chosen based on title alone, and I haven't read them beforehand. So let's dive in together. Please excuse any mispronunciations as I read them exactly as they appear, punctuation, quirks, and all. We're going to start with just a bad review. Are you ready? Okay, this is a 1 out of 10 and is dated for the 30th of October, 2024, and is simply titled, Worst Film I've Ever Seen in My Life. That's saying a lot. For me, it's Pompeii. For this guy, apparently it's Heretic. If you're thinking of going to watch this, don't! The trailer is a con, and it is honestly the worst film I have ever seen in my life. Makes no sense at all, and it's honestly a dead film. It's just talking all the way through and drags on, and nothing really happens. From the trailer, it looks like it could be a good horror, and it's far from it. Words will never explain how rubbish this film really is. It's lucky I'm an Odeon Limitless. Don't know what that means. Otherwise, I would have been kicking off for my money back. And then this is all in caps. Do not go watch this film. I promise you won't like it. That's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. I liked it. I really liked it. So you, sir, or ma'am, are a liar. Okay. Let's go on to another bad review. This one is dated on the 3rd of November. It is a 1 out of 10, and this is called Really Poor Script. Warning, spoilers. The one positive thing is that it doesn't rely on making you jump. The high reviews would have you believe this is a good film. They should have paid more for a better script. The basic premise analogy is control, like saying to a toddler, would you rather eat broccoli or onion? It's not a choice as such as both options are bad. The film wasn't entertaining, just left me wondering what I'm supposed to get out of watching the film. I can appreciate Hugh doesn't want to do any rom-coms anymore, but they made him famous and earned him money. He should stick to what he does best or choose better scripts. I loved Hugh in Dungeons and Dragons. Hugh Grant was so good in that. Loved it. Okay. Do we agree with this? I don't know. Do they have any points? Are they really pointing anything out? I don't really know about that either. So we're going to move on to another bad review. All right, this is a 2 out of 7 and is dated for the 7th of November, 2024, and is called Perfect Example of Stagnation in Film. Stagnation, noun, a situation in which something stays the same and does not grow and develop. Heretic is extremely boring. There are maybe 3 total plot points in this nearly 2-hour movie. We are repeatedly stuck in the same situation with nothing happening other than conversation. It's a thriller without thrills. It's a horror movie that isn't scary or creepy. It's so tame and mild, I'm not even sure why it is rated R. It's generally well made from a technical perspective with good performances, but I found almost no entertainment value from this movie. For reference, this isn't an example of a short attention span. I watch hundreds of movies a year and love the horror genre. At the moment, my top 3 movies of the year are in the horror subgenre: The Substance, Strange, Darling, Smile 2. Heretic just did nothing for me. Those movies are superior in every way. That's not hyperbole. Every way. Okay. What didn't you like? What didn't you like about the movie? I know they say something about the script. I don't know. I thought it was pretty genius myself, but I don't get it. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and that's why I like to go over the really good bad reviews and really bad reviews, because everybody's different. All right, let's go on to some good reviews. All right, and this is a good review and is dated on the 3rd of October 30th of October 2024 and is a 10 out of 10. And this is called Works on So Many Levels. Heretic was incredible. Works on so many levels. As a simple horror film with great performances, Hugh Grant is really good. Anyone else would have gone full Vincent Price in the role, which would have worked. But he played it totally natural, and that worked way more. He was so creepy for not playing it creepy. But beyond that, it examined religion from both sides, those who believe and those who don't, and really hit in my own ambiguous feeling towards it all. It's one of those rare films that manages to really make you think whilst being utterly entertaining from beginning to end. Up there with Substance as film of the year. There is one line about prayer towards the end that really hit home for a devout atheist, lapsed Catholic like myself. Do you know that atheist thing is a non-profit organization? Sorry, I had to. I'm so going to watch this film again when it hits streaming. I loved this film so much. Cool. All right, let's do another good review. This is a 10 out of 10 and is dated on the 1st of November 2024 and is called Kept Me at the Edge of My Seat. Warning, spoilers. A thoughtful horror that really keeps you guessing and is genuinely funny. Acting from all was top notch as well, which I always appreciate in horror. I think the most impressive parts of the movie are when the writers really move the story in unexpected directions, such as the dark-haired girl coming back to life or the butterfly that appears and disappears at the very end. These are not just naive girls who have never heard his theories, and he isn't just an evil genius. They were also aware of religious issues and contradictions, and he was also someone who could be bested due to his own hubris. These are the moments when it really shines, when it leaves you wondering about what the filmmakers are trying to say. The strength of the character development makes that ending feel ambiguous. More importantly, the tension buildup as you realize there is truly no way for these girls to escape is very well done. I dig it. I really dig it. Let's do another good review. This is another good review and is a 9 out of 10, dated for the 31st of October, 2024. And this is called The One True Religion. If you know, you know. Warning, spoilers. A very thought-provoking and profound reflection and meditation on themes of religion, free will, happiness, and control, and the illusion it provides us. I identified well with the premise that true freedom and peace come from being of service to others, whether we believe truly or not that our belief system is fundamentally true. An interesting reflection that perhaps is the intellectual debate and the need to find an answer to life's great questions that holds us random inside of our own minds. The greatest prison and the highest form of control. Remember, the answer to the question will always be 42. I enjoyed a lot of the motifs, symbolism, and the many questions left over. At the same time, the movie kept up a heavy sense of dread and foreboding, much like how we can find ourselves living in fear and subject to these great questions we may never have answers to. Fantastic acting and superb dialogue. Few low ratings complain about the boring dialogue. Yes, it's more cerebral horror. I would suggest a slasher if you want a quick thrill, if that's what you're after. This is a slow burn, brilliantly executed. More of these, please. Sir, whoever wrote, because I didn't write it down, whoever did that review, you are 100% correct. I am with you all the way. So let me know your thoughts on these reviews or the movie. it's time to get into the lunch break point system. So here is how it works. This is where we're going to break it down a little. I have 5 categories that can earn each part up to 5 points. So for a total of 25 points. But then, I want to do something a little bit more extra. So I added 3 extra categories that can give the rating an extra point if need be. So here's the categories. First, main course. How satisfying is the movie overall? This is the heart of the meal. Side dish. Supporting elements like cast and cinematography. Do they add the right flavor? Spice level. Is it exciting or intense? This measures how much it keeps you hooked. Leftover appeal. Would you want to watch it again or does it fade fast? And finally, dessert. The extra special something that makes it memorable. All right, and then for my 3 extras, I got a snack factor. Quick, fun, and easy to digest. Lunch control was a broad appeal for all audiences, and break room talk sparks conversation long after viewing. So let's see where I put this. As far as main course goes, I was extremely satisfied with this. Not only did I like the story, but I also liked that I went with my wife, and I went to B&B theaters, and it was great, and everything was great. We had a great time. I didn't have any expectations of this movie going into it, and walking out of it, I was 100%. I liked it. I really, really liked it. And so did my wife. Side dish. For 1 to 5 points, supporting elements like cast and cinematography. Do they add the right flavor? Again, I gave this 5 points on that as well because there wasn't a lot, but what they did was great. The sets that they had, the house, all that was just phenomenal. Everything worked. Everything worked together. The house is really a character in this. The 2 girls, Sophie Thatcher and what's her name? I forgot. It is, and Chloe East were so fantastic. So I had to give a 5 for the side dish. And then spice level. Was it really spicy? At times it really was. But this is a different kind of horror movie. It's more of like you have to think about it. It's a movie that you really can't get up and walk away, but you don't want to either. At least I didn't. And I'm going to sneeze again. Okay, and I sneezed, and I probably still have 1 or 2 left in me. So with the spice level, I went and gave it a 4. Just because I think it was a different kind of intensity, and I'm not against that extra, that other kind of intensity. So that's what I did. For leftover appeal, would I watch it again or does it fade fast? Well, I watched it a couple days ago, and it hasn't faded yet. So I gave this a 4 just because I do think that if a second viewing, you're going to catch more, something that you missed the first time. So, dessert. The extra special something that makes it memorable. I think it was above average, but I didn't think it was perfect. So I did give it a 4 on that as well. And just the Hugh Grant just made this movie so good. Hugh Grant in this movie, yes, he was the creepy dude, and you loved him. Like, I really cared about his character. I've never been a huge Hugh Grant fan. He's fantastic in this. You can't help but like the bad guy. So, you got a 4 for dessert. Is it worth any extra points? So I gave him 22 points. Do we have any extras? Snack, quick, fun, easy. No, I don't think it's easy to digest. It wasn't quick. Definitely not fun because that's not what they're trying to do. I don't think it's for everybody, and I don't think that people are going to be talking about it a ton outside of a specific community. So I didn't give it any extra points. So it's going to be stuck at 22 points, but not bad. Okay, so my top 5 anticipations for this week. Now that we are done with Heretic, it's time to move on to some other stuff. What is my top five? Batman the comic book Batman issue number 154 is this is the swan song for Chip Zdarsky's Batman run, and it's good. I liked it a lot. Number 4, NCIS Origins. This TV episode was really fantastic. At first, you kind of thought that this is just going to be the origin story of Gibbs, but after this episode, not only is it the origin story for Gibbs, but it's the origin story of NCIS. Number 3, another TV show, Tracker. Tracker's been fantastic every week. I liked season 1. I'm kind of digging season 2. But I will say this. I want more Jensen Ackles. I know we're getting Jared Padalecki in Fire Country. They're this week, coming up soon, I think. Number 2, so Matlock. Matlock is a show that I had no desire to watch, and then I watched like the first 15 minutes of it because I couldn't find anything else to watch, and I was like, nope, don't care, don't want anything to do with it. And then Brian in Nerd Positive, he's like, dude, you gotta watch the first full episode, and I did, and it gave me a what the F me moment, and I'm hooked. I liked it, and it's my second best thing of the week. My number 1 top anticipation for this week was Absolute Superman number 1. Absolute Superman number 1. I hope you caught the minisode. It was so good. We got some new things. It helps with the origin of this Kal-El, the Superman, but also is doing its own things. Jason Aaron's is doing a great job. All of the Absolute books are killing it. So good. So fantastic. All right. Upcoming releases for next week. So I wanted to really kind of do like release a TikTok on Monday and see what movie I should do at the end of the week. However, there's really only one release coming this next week, and that's Red One. Now, I'm one that doesn't really get into the Christmas spirit a ton, but this movie I'm going to have to watch. So, there it is. Here's a quick synopsis of that. After Santa Claus, codename Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of Secretary Dwayne Johnson must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter, Chris Evans, in a globe-trotting and action-packed mission to save Christmas. All right. I got some questions for you now. What movie are you most excited to see this week? Where would you rank Heretic? Do you agree with my ranking on the lunch break point system, the LPS? And what movie do you think will win the box office race? I'm actually going to put it, I don't think that the Heretic or Christmas Pageant is going to be number 1. I think Venom's going to take it again. So you can follow me on Facebook at Nerd Positive, YouTube at Nerd Positive 1, TikTok at Nerd Positive 1, and movies.bs. Also, Instagram at the Fandemic 1. I'm not very good at checking my Instagram. You're going to find me the most on TikTok or Facebook. If you want to support the show, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/nerdpositive or patreon.com/nerdpositive. You can join the Council of Nerds for exclusive content. All right, we are about 25 minutes, so let's close it up. That's a wrap of this week's lunch break reviews. Thanks for tuning in and joining me, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Button. If you enjoyed today's dive into the box office hits and misses, don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Catch our mini episodes throughout the week on TikTok and YouTube for all things TV and comics. Until next time, keep watching, keep reading, and keep being awesome. See you next Sunday, same time, same place, for another edition of Lunch Break Reviews. Have a good day.